Hej! Jeg hedder Courtney. Jeg kommer fra Indiana i USA. Jeg bor på studiested på Copenhagen. Jeg læser philosophy i DePaul University i Indiana i Copenhagen University. Okay, that is me attempting to speak to you in Danish. That I just said, hi, my name is Courtney. I come from Indiana in the US. I live on Studiested Street in Copenhagen, and I study philosophy at DePaul University. Hey guys, Courtney here. As you guys know, I'm studying abroad in Copenhagen, Denmark right now, and I just am about almost a month into studying abroad, so I just wanted to do an update video, let you guys know how this past almost month has been, my first few weeks living in Europe, and things like that. So this, I would say, is sort of a first impressions video. I've kind of gotten used to my neighborhood, this country, Europe, not so much in general because I haven't really traveled outside of the country yet. But actually, in a few days, I will be heading to Germany, so you will definitely be seeing some videos from that. So, things that I've noticed that are different between Denmark and America. The first thing is that one, there's no word in Danish for excuse me. So it's kind of, walking down the street is kind of hard because there is no like proper way to move out of the, like they expect you to move out of the way, and that's like a problem for me because I constantly say excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, like in that order. And so there's no Danish word for excuse me. So it's kind of like you have to make eye contact with the person and then kind of like maneuver who goes on the sidewalk. It's not obvious, so obvious as it is in the States. Be warned. It is so expensive to live here. Coffee is what, like a 45 kroner, which translates to about $7 for just a cup of coffee. This cup of coffee was like 23 kroners, which is what, like $4-ish. I'm still confused as how to convert things, but I'm getting better. Okay, the next thing to be aware of is coat check, okay? Coat check is such a big thing here, and it's winter, right? Like it's cold, and when you go somewhere, they know that you don't want to hassle to have your coat, so coat check is a big thing, and a lot of times it costs money. Me and my friends went to a bar a few nights ago, and I was wearing a jean jacket, right? It was cute, it went with my outfit, and they were like, oh, you have to check that. And I was like, do you see this outfit? Like, the jean jacket goes with my outfit, and they were like, it counts as a jacket. So that is about $5 to coat check. And at the end of the night, I was kind of happy because the bar got really hot and super crowded, and I didn't want to leave my stuff around. So, and you coat check at church. Church is obviously free to coat check. At museums, they want you to have hands-free, don't want you to have your coat on you. It's kind of understandable, kind of annoying. Me and my friends went out this past weekend, and I didn't wear a coat. I just wore like an oversized sweater, and I got sick because it was raining. I mean, I'm studying abroad in the happiest country in the world, and what is the one thing that you've heard about Denmark, except being a welfare state, is that they bike. Yes, it is true, Danes bike everywhere. You learn to bike when you are a kid. Those bike lanes are crazy. I have not ridden a bike in this country yet. I am terrified. You will get hit by a bike. I heard that the hierarchy of things in Denmark, it goes people, bikes. I think that's right, yeah. But be careful, bike lanes, you think it's a sidewalk, but it's actually a bike lane, you will get hit. They will not care. People don't really have driver's licenses. The tax to buy a car is like 150% or something like that. I could be totally wrong, but most families don't have a car. And if you have a car, you probably share it with another family, but it's so much easier to bike around. This city was made for bikers. And that's why I haven't really seen overweight people here, because you're constantly exercising. You walk, you bike everywhere you go. Okay, another thing I've noticed is going out culture. In the States, or at least at college, you get ready to go out around like 9, 10, you pregame, do whatever, and then you go out maybe like 10:30, 11. Here, it's like pregame, like all night, and then once midnight or 1 hits, it's like, okay, let's go out. You step outside, or I step outside my apartment, and I was told it's one of the most bar populated areas in the world. I don't know if that's right, but definitely in Denmark, and people are just going crazy. During the day, Danes are so quiet, like nobody's really talking, like things are calm. At night, it's like people are just hanging off of things, like puking, like yelling. This is not a bad thing. I'm saying I think it's really fun. But living downtown obviously gets pretty loud, but like the streets just get crowded with people. And you probably know that in Europe, people take their time to do things. Like in the States, we go out to eat. Even though it's a nice sit-down meal, we expect to be served right away. We want our drinks, we want our waiters to pay attention to us. And my first night going out to dinner, it was like we sat down and waited like 15 minutes for a waiter to even come over and ask us for our drinks, and it took like another 10 minutes to even get those waters and things just move very slowly here. It was something to get used to. There's a word, as you know, probably it's been commercialized. It's called hygge, Hygge, and it just translates sort of loosely to coziness, enjoying time with one another, and that's basically translates all walks of life and just the way of living and doing things. Hygge means candles. Hygge means hanging out with friends. It means going to coffee shops and enjoying your time, enjoying your life. Okay, as you know, the quality of life here in Denmark is pretty high. There is no minimum wage, because technically the minimum wage is just a good living, and Danes pay, I think it's 50% of their income goes to taxes. And I know in America we're like, oh my gosh, like the government is robbing us. But hey, they get free healthcare, free education. When I say free education, higher education, they pay you to go to school, to go to college. It's about $900 a month that they pay you, because they don't want you as a student to worry about anything except getting that degree, which means that here they just take their time. It can take up to like 5 years to get your bachelor's degree, and that's totally fine. Whereas in the States, we just go high school, college, grad school, if you will, and it's just a mentality that we have to get education with as soon as possible so we can be pushed back into the corporate world. Whereas here, they learn for the sake of learning. And I really appreciate that. So the wealthiest people pay about 70% taxes, whereas everyone else pretty much pays 50%. And they have a pretty good setup here. Like, you don't have to worry about breaking your arm and worrying about how you're going to pay for it, because just by being a Dane, you're pretty much covered. Like, the government's got your back. And lastly, their drinking culture. I've noticed that the drinking culture is definitely not like in America. You can go to the store at 16 here and just buy wine, beer, whatever you want. And to get into clubs, you don't really have to show ID. I know I went out with a group of girls 2 weeks ago, and the first one, the girl was 21 and she had to pull out her ID, and the rest of us, like 10 of us, didn't have to show ID at all. They don't really care. They sort of care, but like not really. I'm 21, so it's cool. But it's not uncommon to be out at 3 a.m. into like a group of what look like 15-year-old boys just like drinking. And that's the thing. It's okay to drink in the streets. Like, it is okay to be publicly intoxicated. I know that is not a thing in the States. I have never been publicly intoxicated in Denmark. It doesn't really appeal to me, but if you want to be publicly intoxicated and carry a beer around the city, then you can do that. I forgot to mention that with the hygge lifestyle and taking things slow, I think the average workday is about maybe a little over 5 hours. I know that I live right across the street from a clothing store. Kind of looks like an H&M, but much classier. Anywho, so that one, when I come home for lunch at around 1 to 3, that's closed. And I know there's a donut shop right on my street that doesn't open until 10:30, and I start class at 8:30 on Tuesdays and Fridays, and 10 on Mondays and Thursdays. And I'm like, I want a coffee, I want a donut. Why aren't you open until after I get out of class? Opening up at 10:30 is so annoying, but that's the way they do things here. They It's not working 9 to 5 as in the States. Things, and since it, like I said, it gets pretty dark here at 4:45, things are closed. Like there's a store called Netto here that's pretty much open 24 hours, so you can go grocery shopping at whatever time of day. But in terms of just going out to a store and just shopping until 9 p.m. like that doesn't exist here. Well guys, those are my first impressions of Denmark. Obviously this is Copenhagen specific since I haven't been to Western Denmark yet, but I plan to soon. Those are just my first impressions living here. I love this city so much. I keep talking to my mom and my friends about it, like, you need to come here, like, please visit, even though I know it's expensive. But if you ever get the chance, please visit Denmark, Copenhagen, Scandinavia. Like, these are great countries and they're so beautiful. They're pretty homogenous, and I haven't had any problems, but just definitely visit Copenhagen. If you have any questions for me about Copenhagen, Denmark, study abroad, DIS in general, then you can leave them down below. I know my email is in a couple of my videos. You can also email me if you want to know how I got the process of studying abroad or scholarships or anything. Let me know. I will be happy to do a video on that. Thank you for watching this video and talk to you guys later. Bye.